Hi, I'm Rosa. Thanks for joining me. I'm about to make dinner. I'm about to make meatloaf. Meatloaf sounded good for dinner tonight, so I'm going to bring you along and show you what I'm doing. This is such a good meatloaf recipe, and I'm making it a little bigger than I usually do. I like to mix both ground beef and ground pork to make meatloaf, so that's what I'm using. I also am using an onion, a couple eggs, some parsley and garlic. I'm going to use ketchup, though you don't see it here. Panko breadcrumbs and oats. So I use them both. I also will add milk that you don't see, and for seasonings, salt, pepper. I added some extra onion and garlic because you can't ever have enough. Paprika, Italian seasoning. And if I had green peppers, I would also add some finely chopped green peppers, but I don't have any. I'm not going to the grocery store. And my parsley looks a little sad. But that is for the meatloaf part of the equation. For the sauce that's going to go on top of the meatloaf, I have ketchup and white vinegar. And I have a big bottle of vinegar. I just put it back in here, and it's plastic. I should probably look for a glass bottle to keep my vinegar in. Garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, brown sugar, and ketchup. I have the beef and the pork in this bowl, and I have chopped up the onions fairly small. I have the eggs ready to go too. I have added my onions, my seasonings, and about 4 tablespoons of ketchup. And I'm going to mix this up. I've since added the garlic, the panko, and the oats. I'm going to add 2 eggs, but before I add the 2 eggs, I like to scramble them up a little bit because it makes it easier for it to incorporate with the meat. I lined a pan with parchment paper and pressed the mixture in here. You can see it's not a regular size meatloaf. It is big, but I used 3 pounds, so I used plenty of seasoning for the 3 pounds. I had 2 pounds of ground beef and 1 pound of pork. And one of the reasons I wanted to make it so large was so that we could have a few meals as well as meatloaf sandwiches. Now for the glaze that goes on top of the meatloaf. If I wasn't making a gigantic meatloaf, I would add 3/4 of a cup of ketchup or somewhere around there, and then 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of vinegar. Then 2 to 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. And like I said, I have a gigantic loaf, so I'm going to add a little bit more. And now I'm going to season this with garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and salt. And I have a little bit of Italian seasoning in there for good measure, so you don't need it. So we're gonna mix this up and taste it. And I have the meatloaf in the oven at 375 in about 40 to 50 minutes. I'm gonna take it out, put a little bit of this glaze over the top, and cook it for another maybe 15 minutes or so. And then I will take it out and put the glaze over the top to serve. And this glaze makes the meatloaf so delicious. Now we make the mashed potatoes and wait for it to be done. It'd be nice if I got a vegetable in with this meal, but it's probably not going to happen. I don't want to run to the grocery store. I am now checking on my meatloaf. It's been about 35 minutes and it's pulling away from the sides. Oh, I just touched the side with my finger, but it's pulling away. I think it needs a little longer, so I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer. And I probably shouldn't call it a meatloaf. I should call it a pan loaf. It's such a big pan, but it's going to be so tasty. The meatloaf took about 45 minutes in the oven, and now I've taken it out. You see I've sliced it in the middle. I put some of the glaze on it. I'm gonna put it back in the oven just for a couple minutes and then let it come out and rest. And I have glaze in the bowl should someone want more, because some people like more and some people like less, and I'm one of those more people. Tonight for dinner, we're having mashed potatoes and meatloaf. This is a small portion, but this is what I'm eating. And that was dinner, our meatloaf and mashed potatoes. It was delicious. We really enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to the leftovers. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video as well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.